Today was a very strange day, It made me realize how lucky I am. Have you ever stopped to say, how lucky? He's smiling? Yeah. I don't know whether he feels the same way, right? Yeah. I think we all focus a lot of attention on all the things that are going wrong in our lives. And I need to see Janvi's face, otherwise I can't talk. So she needs to come in front of me.
Swap.
Yeah. And my daughter called up at about 3 in the afternoon, and that's my nap time. I don't like any disturbance around that time. She knows it, that's the time she'll text me. And she called on the landline, she called on this phone, and I picked up the phone, Enna oh, I never answered the phone, I'm so unhappy. I didn't get the internship. She had applied for an internship in Charles Schwab in Orlando. And very convenient. She was going to stay with Vandana. She had it all planned out. Vandana's roommate is going away. She had all, she had calculated the distance. Didn't work out. Okay, she's got a disappointment and she was crying. So I said, okay, now calm down. And after 5 minutes I said, you're such a silly girl. You have a confirmed internship in Macy's in New York City. Who gives up an internship, and cries for one that you didn't get in Orlando? You're going to be in New York City in the summer. Can anything be better than that? See, she's like, yeah, Mom, you're right. It's going to be great. But then, again, she's focusing on the wrong thing. How will I find a place to stay? Now, if you got that internship, you're going to find a way to stay somewhere. Something will work out. Something will always work out. It always does. It's just like we don't, in her heart, she really wanted to be in New York City. Because had she wanted Orlando bad enough, she would have gotten it. She would have totally gotten it. But somewhere in her heart, she was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be in New York City in the summer. I'm going to take us, live in a little apartment, and I'm going to go out with my friends, and I'm going to turn 21 in the city, and all my friends are going to come. She's got these plans at the back of her head somewhere. But technically, she knows that she should be working in Charles Schwab because that's good for her career, right? So she's got these two dilemmas. And once I told her, you're going to have the time of your life in New York City, I'm coming too for a week. She's like, yeah, Mom, we'll have a good time. Most of the time, the other alternative is just as good, if not better. We just want to focus on the one that didn't work out. We are so lucky. We're so lucky to be where we are. This is a good place. This is an excellent place. Yes, you're working long hours. You can't come for the meditation because you're working. But you're working. Just my sister was telling me about my niece. She's got a great job, got a beautiful baby, but so tired because she's trying to manage the job and the baby. Whatever your situation, there's going to be a problem, and you want the other one. You want the easy one. You want to be home, doing nothing, somebody there to take care of your baby, someone to bring in the money. But then after doing that for 15 days, you'll want the job again. It'll take you about 15 days of relaxation before you say, oh, I need to work. Choose your present alternative. If this is your message for the week, choose this alternative. It's really the best alternative you have. It's really one of the best things because you are here now. You can put that smile on your face and just pick the life that you've been given. Why do we want all these things? It's all the media. We're bombarded every day by all these great images. Ellen is on this show with all these beautiful celebrities and they have this great life and they have this fabulous apartment and life is really good. But is it? Is it really good? I mean, what do you know about another person's journey? We think that everybody else has got nothing, no problems. That it's only us. God has chosen us. He's sitting up there on top of the clouds. He's got everything, a bow and arrow, and He's given, sent it all the way into your life. And you've got all the trouble. No. You have nothing. You have a great life. It's just that we always pick the other alternative. We always think that the other person has got it good. If only I had that, then I'll be happy. If only I have this, then I'll be happy. If only if I had a change of job, if only my child could get married, if only I could get the Charles Schwab internship. I mean, we always want what we can't get. What about all the things that we have? How many times in a day do we sit and give gratitude for what we've got? We have a lot. We have a lot to be grateful for. Today my closest friend called me and she told me her husband is a CPA, drives an Uber 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the evening. And she says he's the happiest person ever. He's in charge of his life. He comes home, takes a nap.
And he's driving?
No, I mean his story is a long one. He drove a taxi for 7 years after being the finance director of a very big advertising company. But what I admire about them is that she kept that taxi cab, that permit on her fridge and has unbelievable respect for this man. And they have such a loving relationship. Not once did she say what a loss of face, how could you do this? In the same vacation we lived with another couple. And the two of them were at each other, constantly fighting. And I was thinking, these people financially have nothing. And they've got money, they've got a very good background. They don't want each other. But these two have that wonderful bond and that relationship and that respect for each other. You have to pick what you have. You may not have the job, but you have the love of your husband. Pick that and be grateful for that. You may not have the love of your husband, but you've got great family support. Pick that. Get your happiness from that. Be grateful for that. You may not have a job, but you've got respect from everyone. Pick that. You don't always get everything that you want. Nobody does. Because we want everything. Our list is too big. It's a never-ending list. You karcha, then you want the next one, then you want the next one, then you want the next one. It's a never-ending list. And we can go on, we can go on. And what makes you happy? At what point will you say, okay, enough? You know it. You know that you shouldn't expect. You know that you should be grateful. Right? Everybody knows that. But how many times a day do you actually stop and say, I'm grateful? I'm grateful today for this meal I eat. You know how the Christians say grace? I love that. I love that they actually stop and take a moment to be grateful. They say that if for 7 days you write down everything that you're grateful for, your life will transform. Imagine every day of your life, if you were just grateful, how much abundance would come your way. Because all the negative things that are coming, you're not paying attention to it. It's because we pay attention to all the negativity in our lives that it takes on so much importance. Supposing you just ignored it. Someone calls you something, you ignore it. Someone fights with you, you ignore it. Your boss says something to you, you ignore it. Your day would just be filled with hours and hours of gratitude and just happiness, because we've already taken that decision that we're going to be happy. And how can you be happy if you constantly want what you can't get? There has to be a recognition at some point that, there are things that I'll get, there are things that I won't get. And maybe what I get may be bigger than anything I could have dreamed of. Maybe huge. I might create that app that I've been talking to you guys about, and that app might become the sensation in the world. Who knows? Everything is just pure potential. This present moment is pure potential. Whatever you bring into this moment is what can change the quality of your life for the future and all eternity. Don't pick the other alternative. That's not your alternative. You go down this path, accept this path, and walk bravely, move forward. And if by any chance that path leads nowhere, there's always another path that you can walk down. Life continually opens up opportunities for you. It's never just this is my destiny, this is my karma, this is it for me. Never. Never. Every minute is pure potential. You just have to accept that minute, that moment, with everything it brings. Whatever you feel it fully. But don't be miserable for silly things. You're wasting your time and everybody else's. And one person miserable in the house brings the whole household down. One person upbeat in the house changes the energy of the whole house. Have you ever gone to the house in the first few weeks after somebody has passed on? You've seen the energy there when people have been crying. You sense it, right? You sense that feeling of being pulled down. And then you go after a month when things have normalized and people have learned to live, they've changed their energy, and then you see the energy then. It'll be totally different. It'll be totally different. Your energy, you can change. How do you change it? It is the spiritual practices, the breathing, the meditation that changes your energy. And then you reach a stage in your life that somebody's shouting at you, but you can keep quiet. And understand that that person is shouting at you because of a certain weakness. There's a certain weakness or a certain position that he's in that's making him or her unhappy. It's not you. It's not you. Somebody needs an escape valve. So you can learn to keep quiet in spite of people yelling at you, in spite of the situation being really bad. And it's okay to cry for a few minutes. But once the wisdom is there, once you realize that your present alternative is really good, then you need to forget that. You need to forget the other alternative that never was, like it never happened, and walk down this path and really enjoy yourself and be focused. Give everything you have, 100%, to whichever path you've picked, whichever path is yours. And who knows, the other path might open up a little bit later. Maybe right now is not the right time for you. You've not matured enough for that. You're not ready for that responsibility. Maybe 2 years later, when Lavanya reapplies to Charles Schwab, she would have learnt a lot more, she would have matured a lot more, and she would be on par with the other people that have applied for that job, and she'll get it. And maybe that'll be the perfect time in her life, and maybe it's not for her. The thing is that now she has to pick her best alternative, and so do we. This is just an example. These are choices that come up every day in our lives. Every day we are faced with good and bad things. We just label things good and we label things bad. The divine doesn't have any ulterior motive. All things are good in the eyes of the divine. What we consider bad are just events that allow self-growth. For you to grow as a person, for you to understand and become bigger and accept and learn to live and learn to compromise and learn to sacrifice and surrender to whatever it is that you're getting. Nothing is bad. Just happenings. You are here. These are happenings coming by you, events, situations, people. Have that recognition that you are in the present moment, you're going to embrace it completely, whatever it brings. Good things come, bad things come, but they all happen now. And if you are not happy now, then you're not going to be happy ever. Because ever, the future, is a collection of nows. Just remember that. Now is when you have to be happy. Without that job, without that spouse, without that whatever it is that you have, this is it. And you're not being insensitive or lacking emotion if you learn to disengage from the events in your life. It's just getting a different perspective. The perspective that we need to have is that we need to pull out. We need to stop focusing so deeply on small things and pull out and look at the big picture of our lives. We have so much to be grateful for. If you live in gratitude, there is nothing that you could want or need. Everything is going to be okay. Be grateful right this minute. Because really, you are blessed. You may not feel that way all the time. That's okay. But you are blessed. And you live in the shadow of that blessing. And every moment is a divine moment. Present is a gift from the divine. That's why it's called a present, right? It's been gifted to you, so use it well.